Hey guys, A-Rod here at Stu's Indian Triumph Fort Myers with our good buddy Rod. Rod, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great.
All right, so you guys might remember him, or more likely his motorcycle, because he was under a lot of gear last time we saw him. A couple months back, we shot a video. He was about to take off on a little road trip that weekend. Where were you headed to?
I'm going to Alaska.
That's right. And did you make it to Alaska?
Yes, I did.
And you make it back?
Without a doubt, I told you I was on a Triumph.
He did call it. He said he had no issues because he was going to be riding his Triumph, which is, of course, his Tiger 800 right here. And it is just an amazing machine, but I don't have to tell you that, do I, Rod?
Not at all.
So, real quick, what was the trip like? I mean, I'm sure there's so many stories and everything, but what's really stuck out to you?
It was just absolutely amazing. I took off from the lower states, went up through Texas into Oklahoma, New Mexico, up through the national parks of Rocky Mountain, Yellowstone, Glacier, into Banff, up the Icefield Parkway, to Dawson Creek, up to Delta, up to Klondike, across the Yukon River, went on the top of the highway, road, and which was all gravel, stone, construction. Triumph didn't have any problem with it. It took me through and kept me up and did an outstanding job down through the Chicken and into Tok, to Delta Junction, finished the Alaska Highway, went into Fairbanks, up to Dalton, went to over the Arctic Circle, back down into Anchorage, Seward, Homer, down to Valdez, and then I made my trip back to the States, the lower 48. Through the lower 48, I went through the national parks of Badlands into Devil's Tower Monument and Wind Cave National Park, Cuyahoga Valley National Park in Ohio, and made it into Florida.
All right, now how many miles is that?
13,222 miles.
So 13,222 miles, and how long did it take you to make that?
I left June 1st and came back July 31st.
Had that been on perfectly paved roads, most people wouldn't have made it. And you actually did all that with a good portion being on gravel, dirt roads, fire roads, trails.
Absolutely.
Guys, I got to give Rod props, but I also have to give props to this amazing motorcycle because it's a team. You got to have the right bike. You have to definitely have the right rider because I'm not sure too many of us watching be brave enough to undertake a trip like that. You did do that trip solo, is that right?
Solo.
So what were some of the things you packed? I know we talked briefly about this. Got some tools with you?
I had the panniers filled with tools. I had my pannier bags with clothes, and then I had a bag with sleeping gear, tents, cooking gear, and then another sleeping gear, and a spare tank of gas for when I was on the Dalton and on the Alaska Highway.
Well, because way out there on the Dalton and Alaska Highway, you are pretty far away from gas stations. Is that right?
You are. The gas stations are sparse.
I'm sure they are. Now, what was one of your favorite things about the Tiger? Let us know.
The Tiger is an amazing bike. Everything on it absolutely handled perfect. The power is just absolutely unbelievable. But the two best features.
All right,
one,
hit us with both.
I was caught in rain, sleet, almost snow, and I had heated grips. The second most important thing I thought, and was a major selling feature, it came down to this or a BMW. Those are the only two bikes that offer cruise control. And I'm going to tell you, 13,000 miles without cruise control would have been a breaker.
Well, that's real important. For our viewers out there who are thinking of getting an adventure bike, I'm sure you guys are probably thinking of a few different brands. And like Rod just said, only the Triumph and the BMW offer the cruise control. And the Triumph does have the heated grips option as well as the heated seats option. Now, I've got to ask, if there's one thing after your experience in this trip you could change about your Triumph, what would you improve?
I had a little bit of problem with my windscreen. The problem being, I wish it would be about 1 inch to 2 inches higher, which would keep a lot of the wind off my head. However, I understand that the new Triumphs do have the adjustable windshield, or the screen. I wish I could do that to mine.
Well, it's almost like they read your thoughts, because that is right. The new ones have not only taller windscreens, but they also have the adjustable windscreens that move up and down for rider comfort. Well, I gotta ask, what's it like being back home?
Different.
Different?
That's all I can say. It's different.
All right.
It is absolutely unbelievable what a car feels like. I feel like I should be sitting with something between my legs and not sitting with my legs on a seat.
Alrighty then. And last but not least, I'm sure this is on everyone's mind because it is on mine. Where are you heading to next year on your Triumph?
Well, I've been to the Arctic Circle. I've been to Anchor Point, the furthest western point of North America. I've been to Key West, as the farthest southern point of the United States. I think I am going to go up to Labrador and Newfoundland and go to the furthest eastern point of North America.
Well, there you have it, everybody. That's Rod. This is A-Rod. We're signing off here at Stu's Indian Triumph Fort Myers. If you guys want to make some stories of your own, if you guys want to have some adventures, you don't have to go quite as extreme as Rod did here and head all the way up to Alaska or next year to Newfoundland. But you can, of course, hit Lake Okeechobee, hit the Keys, and this bike is pretty much just perfect for exactly those kind of trips. On-road, off-road, wherever the road takes you. So we'll see you next time.